Well, as it so happens, I receive a message from a friend of mine that I hadn't talked to in years on Facebook. He messaged me and he said, "Dude, what the hell happened? The FBI called me about you. You need to call me right now." I'm back in New York. I've got a couple days to plan things, figure out what I'm gonna do. The first thing I have to do is I have to get one of those new collared shirts because the one that I've been wearing in all my videos is frayed and the stitching kind of bursting. So I gotta go shopping. But many people have asked why I can't go to Venezuela. I'm gonna tell you in just a little bit. From my house all the way down to Hoboken, it's just straight downhill. Easiest ride ever. This is a UPS store. At a UPS store, you can mail things and print things and pack things. And this is not a commercial for UPS, but I just wanted to let you all know, I've had a few people ask me about sending me things, and I've kind of, I hate to say this, but I kind of just ignore a lot of these messages because I didn't want to give out, people already know where I live kind of, but I didn't want to just post my address. So what I did was, I set up a P.O. box. Timothy Poole, 330 Washington Street, PMB 517, Hoboken, New Jersey, 07030. And now, I'm not saying it's like everybody on the planet, but for the people who are asking me where they could send me stuff, this is where you can send it. And I'll post the address in the description below. So, for the most part, I shouldn't point this towards the sun, that was stupid. I have, over the past few years, a lot of people trying to send me things like new bags, Arctic gear, batteries, and I have actually had people send me really awesome stuff. I had someone send me a solar battery charger bag once, and that was extremely helpful. It was great. And so, you know, again, I'm not gonna say it's every single person on the planet. It's not like everyone's clamoring to send me free stuff, but I've had a few people hit me up and say, hey, I'd like to send you like, you know, a bag or stickers or something. And so, I felt like I'd set up a P.O. box for y'all, and I really appreciate anything you might send. And I also figured maybe once a week I can open up a lot of the stuff you guys send me. And, you know, look, feel free to send me whatever you want, or send me nothing at all. By all means, don't send me anything. But, you know, typically I'm really interested in cool gadgets. I've had some people send me like 360 cameras and stuff, and I'm always looking for cool new things to use. So, yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna grab some food real quick, and then I want to talk to you guys about Venezuela. It's actually pretty beautiful here. So, I'm trying to figure out what the next big story I should cover is. And I know, just the other day, I threw it to you guys and said, where should I go? A lot of people hit me up and said that I should go to Venezuela. Some other countries, but Venezuela came up over and over and over again. It's a helicopter. And I tweeted out that I can't go to Venezuela. The reason I tweeted this was because so many people had asked for me to go to Venezuela. First, Venezuela is no longer accepting American passports, so I can't just show up there. I went to Venezuela, I think it was now 3 years ago. It was visa on entry, which surprised me because I knew that Venezuelans don't really like Americans for obvious reasons. Okay, maybe not so obvious reasons to many people, but the US has been involved in a lot of coups and interfering in foreign governments. So Venezuela, they don't like us. Plus Hugo Chavez, socialist Americans, there's a lot of beef there. So I was surprised to find that I could just show up, they'd stamp my passport and let me in. I was there for Vice, and I had gone there to cover a student protest. There was big protests, were manifesting. There were people being shot and killed in the streets. They have a thing in Venezuela called the collectivos. These are men who ride around on motorcycles with machine guns. They have groups of people that are very loyal to the government, and they also have guns. Caracas has more murders than any other city on the planet. So naturally, I said, let's go there. Let's go there and cover the story and figure out what's going on. And Vice sent me down with one of their original shooter producers, and it was looking like it was going to be a pretty exciting trip. When we got there, we saw that there was trash littered in the streets. Actually, I think right now my Twitter banner is from Venezuela. If you go to my Twitter profile, twitter.com/Timcast, you'll probably see, I'm pretty sure it's still there. The banner image is a bunch of burning trash in the street. That's from when I was in Venezuela. I really like the photo. I took some photos and videos. I posted some stuff to Instagram. We shot some stuff for Vice at this location. It was this area, a street called Avenue de la Villa. There were a bunch of National Guard about 2 blocks away, armed to the teeth. And a bunch of students, where we were at, were just sort of hanging out in this intersection with burning trash everywhere. We filmed there. Kind of gets crazy. People start running, screaming. We don't know what's happening, but ultimately nothing too exciting happens. Just people ran from the National Guard. I don't think anyone was shot or hurt. We head back to the hotel. I go up into my room and I say, you know what? What a fun day. Let's go take a shower. And I go into the shower. I get out of the shower and I pull up my laptop. And there on Twitter it says that I had something like 10,453 notifications. And that's not normal, right? I mean, I get a lot of notifications, but 10,000. So you know how on Twitter, when it doesn't just load all the tweets, a bar will appear and then you click it and then all of a sudden everything comes down. All of a sudden I am inundated with get the Yankee, where the collectivos, go find him, you're gonna die, Yankee, things like that. A ton of veiled threats, a large amount of actual death threats, like we will kill you. A lot of it was veiled, such as wait till we find you, Yankee, you'll see what happens. Who let this Yankee in? Things like that. Just absolutely crazy. Well, as it turns out, there's a high-profile figure in Venezuela who had over 1 million followers. I call him Venezuelan Glenn Beck. Apparently, he went on his show. He had like a big live stream. He used to have a TV show or something, a radio show, million followers plus, and said that I was a spy sent by the U.S. to destabilize the revolution. People started posting pictures of me, saying that I was a spy. I was a war reporter sent, to destabilize the revolution. They started showing some of the work that I did in Ukraine just a few months before this, because I was in Ukraine covering the protests there. When I was in Kiev, I didn't see anybody die or anything like that. I was there at the start of the Euromaidan protests, but they started sharing pictures of dead bodies, saying that I did this. Well, as it turns out, some American anarchist activists thought it would be funny to message high-profile Venezuelans and tell them that I worked for US aid and the CIA. Maybe it was a joke. Ha ha ha, let's get Tim killed in the city that has more murders than any other city on the planet. So, after I see this, I load up this guy's video, trying to figure out what's going on. He's sharing photos of me on his show. I actually took a screenshot and I printed it out and I put it up above my desk. It's a picture of me. It's the one I use where I got the goggles on the rooftop. And it said that, it's like warning, warning, American, yada yada, media mercenary. That's what they called me, a media mercenary sent to destabilize the revolution. That's what they like to say, that I was there to destabilize the revolution, which I find funny. So I immediately I hit up the guy I was with in the hotel and tell him, oh shit, I think we might have to get the hell out of here. I moved hotel rooms, changed my clothes, my outfit a little bit, made it a little bit harder to recognize me, and made some calls to the Vice people who were, we tried to figure out our security protocol for this, and the ultimate decision was, look, it's late at night, do not go out late at night, they will probably kill you. Wait until the sun cracks, get in a car, get to the airport, and GTFO. So that's exactly what I did. So I didn't sleep. As soon as the sun started to come up and we could see just a hint of blue in the sky, I'm like, call a car, get to the airport, first flight out of here. We do it. We get to the airport, the first flight out, within a couple hours, early in the morning, I'm talking to my dad, he's talking to me, and I'm like, what do you think we should do? Should we flee? I mean, I've got all these people sending me death threats. Maybe it's not a big deal, but I'm in Caracas. Like, people get murdered here all the time. And so ultimately I decided it's not worth it, and I'm going to leave. That's what I did. But it's not over there. Now, when I got back to the US, everyone's asking me, what's going on. One of the interns from Vice, who was Venezuelan, asked me, how the hell did I get out of the country? And I said I got on a plane and left. And he goes on to explain how there have been people who have done nothing and have been detained for months or over a year. There was one journalist who was just filming a documentary and talking to some people, and they detained him, and I managed to just get out. Well, as it so happens, I receive a message from a friend of mine that I hadn't talked to in years on Facebook. He messaged me and he said, dude, what the hell happened? The FBI called me about you. You need to call me right now. So I message him on Facebook, what are you talking about? He doesn't respond. I say, dude, what's going on? He doesn't respond. So I take out my phone and I call him. He doesn't answer. I called him maybe 20 times and he would not answer his phone. And so I'm like, okay, this is freaky, whatever. Well, a few hours later, he calls me back and he says, dude, what? You called me like a million times. What's going on? And I said, you're asking me what's going on? I'm asking you what's going on. You said the FBI called you about me? Helicopter, perfect timing. So he says, I never messaged you at all. Dude, I haven't talked to you in like 5 years. And so I go on Facebook and I'm on the phone with him and I'm like, dude, I have a message from you right here on Facebook. It says, you messaged me and you said the FBI called you about me and that I need to call you. And he's like, dude, I didn't send you any messages on Facebook. I took a screenshot of it. I sent it to him and he went, holy shit, dude, I didn't message you. I swear to fucking God. So I don't want to, I can tell you that part. Some other freaky stuff happened. My Facebook got hacked. Facebook tells you when people log in. Well, sure enough, I got a bunch of login alerts. I don't know what they wanted. I believe some of my family members got hacked based on some stuff that I don't want to get into just for security reasons. But I believe, based on my understanding of cybersecurity and my friends, that they wanted me to make the phone call. The reason my friend messaged me saying to call him was because they wanted to figure out where I was in Venezuela, if I was still there. If I was in the country, I could call, it would hit one of the cell towers. I have some friends who work in cybersecurity and InfoSec, and that's what we figured they were trying to do. So I was out, everything was fine, and I can never go back, right? At least not until that government is gone. So if you have any suggestions for places to go and stories, comment below. Tweet at me, let me know what you think. But that is the grand story of me and Venezuela and why I will never come back. Now, we ultimately decided at Vice not to use the footage and not to make it the story because it was a huge security risk and because my friends and family had been targeted. So I figured it's better to keep a lower profile on this one and just let it die out. It's been 3 years. So I have no problem coming out and telling the story. In fact, I've told this story a couple times. I alluded to it a little bit on the Rubin Report. And now, because I am a hacker and to a certain degree, sometimes I'm a troll, I figured, you know what? I'm gonna show these people what for. So what I did was, I downloaded a thing called a GPS spoofer. A GPS spoofer allows me to set my phone to trick the apps into thinking I'm wherever I want to be. So when you go on Twitter, you can put your location, or sometimes you can upload and you can say that your location is here, and your photos will show your current GPS coordinates. Well, I set my location to Caracas, and then I tweeted out with the fake location in Venezuela, I am enjoying these arepas. Arepas are like Venezuelan food. And because I'm just hoping that somewhere someone in Venezuela was freaking out like, he's still here, and they tried to find me, but I'm sitting in New York laughing at my desk. So anyway, that's the story of Venezuela, and I can't go back, like I said, at least not until this government is gone. But I appreciate you hanging out and listening to this story, and if you have any ideas for places that I should go, actually I was talking with Luke, and Luke, we're kind of figuring out maybe there's something we can do together somewhere in the next couple weeks. So tweet at me, comment below, tell me where I should go, send me any story ideas, email me any story leads, because I'm always looking for tips. Otherwise, I might just go off and do some general reporting. I am looking at Korea. I would really, really like to go there. And I've been saying this a lot, but I'm thinking about possibly going and just doing a general on the ground in Seoul talking about the current escalating tensions. We see escalating tensions there all the time. But if you like the video, make sure to subscribe and follow, because I will be going somewhere in the next couple days. I just don't know where yet. And I will be informing you most likely through Twitter, @TimCast, or here on YouTube. So thank you all so much for hanging out and watching. I guess I'll see you next time.